Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Jo Ryder.
Hey, Mike here.
We
Mary
want
Jo.
to welcome you to this moment with M&MJ.
Welcome, everybody.
We are up to I think it's like almost 120 subscribers.
Yeah, I'd have to look. Our number of subscribers has pretty much doubled in a short amount of time, so that's pretty awesome.
So we want to thank you for that. We continue to ask, just your involvement,
Mm-hmm.
just in listening, and then, if something catches your heart, we'd love to have you share. And
Absolutely.
we did have one post that we put up a little while ago that, when people are sharing and it's something that catches your heart, it can really go a long ways. And so we are seeing that value, you might say,
Mm-hmm.
of having people share. So go ahead. We'd love to have you share.
We found something that has really touched our heart in the last little while here. There's we were listening to Johnny Enlow on Monday, Johnny Enlow Unfiltered with Steve Schultz. And they played a video of a song by a singer named Kellie. And the song is called Liberty. And it has been on repeat in our house. And every time I hear it personally, I get stirred deeply inside and stirred deep in my heart.
It's a song that is asking you, are you awake?
Yeah.
Do you know what's going on and how did we get here? How is this a duplicate, per se, of history? And how can we be, she's calling out she's asking for us to wake up, for us to hold the line, and will we help turn the tables? So it's an eye-opener song, and not only the lyrics to the song, but make sure what we wanted to say too is to watch the video that goes along with the song. So we've done a lot of our watches on rumble.com, right?
Yep. Rumble, that's where the link right down there is going to be to the Rumble version of the video.
And there's a YouTube video also
the Rumble version has more views.
That is true. The Rumble version does have more views. But there's also a YouTube video that you can pull up, and so you can see it that way. But I think the visual along with the words is just so powerful. And, one of the things that Mike has said that with us playing it here, we've also been doing the music to it. So I've been on the keyboard.
We've been playing it. And
Mike has been on the bass guitar, and so we've been playing along with it. And musically, it's fun to play. And there's I believe that it's in God's heart for this video to impact this nation, impact other nations. This gal
Worldwide.
happens to be from Australia. She came from Australia. She's really been in the United States, and a big reason was to not be under the tyranny that was going on in Australia. And we all, we're aware of how the government has, of different nations, most nations has utilized tyranny during this time. So I think that there is it seems like there's about 10 or maybe even more issues today in our world that are coming at you, and that you need to have discernment of what is truth. We were talking to a client just the other day, and he said, I don't know what's truth and what's not truth. And I said, well, that actually is part of that history, is that they didn't know what was truth either. I just think that there's more subjects that people don't know what is truth and what isn't truth. And it's part of what I shared last week is if you hear something from a source that you consider trusted 5 times or 5 different sources, and it's the same message, that you believe that is true. So just really have that in your radar, that's going on in our world. And it's we just ask you to be praying for the discernment of God to help you to know what's true and what's not true.
Along with that, as a believer, our first thing that we look at and our first thing that we believe should be the Word. We were talking a little bit last night at prayer about Romans chapter 12. And I'm going to read verses 1 and 2 because I think that will give us a good base going forward on what we are to do as believers as far as processing information like this that we receive. Like Mary Jo was talking about, if you get 5 sources that are basically saying the same thing, but it's wrong, and you still believe it, then that doesn't make it right.
That's right.
Okay. Romans 12:1-2 in the Amplified. I appeal to you, therefore, brethren, and beg of you, in view of all the mercies of God, to make a decisive dedication of your bodies, presenting all your members and faculties as a living sacrifice, holy, devoted, consecrated, and well-pleasing to God, which is your reasonable, rational, intelligent service and spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, this age, fashioned after and adapted to external, superficial customs, but be transformed, changed by the entire renewal of your mind, by its new ideals and its new attitude, so that you may prove for yourselves what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God, even the thing which is good and acceptable and perfect in his sight for you. November 8th is the election in the United States, and it's a pretty big deal right now. We've got a lot of things hanging in the balance as far as godly values, for one thing. Are we going to try to start moving back towards some of that, or are we going to continue to go like a drag racing car in the opposite direction? What we intend to do, Mary Jo and I, is we intend to vote Bible. We intend to vote what we feel best represents biblical representation, okay, in our state government and in our elected leaders as they are right now. So that's our encouragement to you, is to get out and vote. Make sure you do it. If you haven't registered, it's probably already too late, but remember it for next time. It is critical as citizens that we exercise our right to vote. Okay. Mary Jo's been talking about this, and we've talked about just amongst ourselves and also with other people, but we're going to share it with you now, that there's a lot of people that they just think their vote doesn't count. You know, it's like, why even go do it? It doesn't count anyway. Okay. Well, yes, it does. As a believer, we are told to scatter seed, right? And one of the things that we have decided that we're going to do is, it really doesn't matter how things end up in the natural. What we're doing with our vote is we are sowing a seed for what we believe are godly values. Okay. That's kind of the thing with voting that we feel is very, very critical. So,
and we like to look at it like the last election. We like to look at it that we sowed a seed. And one of the things that in my prayer time, as I asked God, I said, God, I sowed a seed and I asked for a harvest. And we are still expecting a harvest from the last election.
Right. And
I believe that we are in the process of seeing more and more liberty from the last election. And I believe that there is going to be we're believing there's going to be changes that are coming forth.
Right. Exactly.
So I think that's what we wanted to share with you. Biggest thing was we wanted to bring forth the video and and to encourage you to vote. This is the time to. God is saying this is time to rise and shine, and that's you as the people of the United States.
Absolutely.
And your nation.
Yep.
God has a plan for every nation.
He does. And just looking ahead for things for us, we're in the process of getting Fawn scheduled to come back in. She has a super powerful testimony. That something that just happened to her, like I think a week ago or something like that. So we're working on getting her back on. If you haven't listened to her testimony that she recorded back in May, Fawn's testimony, part 1, 2, and 3, go and pick that up. It is absolutely powerful.
Yeah, then you'll know who she is before we get her on here this next time.
Right, exactly. So thanks for joining us, folks. We sure appreciate it. We appreciate your subscribing and liking and sharing our videos and getting the word out. We appreciate it.
And we appreciate the support, because we do have some individuals that are supporting this ministry, and we want to give you a thanks and appreciation for that.
You betcha. God bless you, and we'll see you next time around.
Thanks so much.